Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in, welcome in. This is your weekend sales update, and I hope, I need to change my calendar, folks. It is now August. Hopefully everybody had a lovely first weekend of August. We had 20 sales between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Quick breakdown of those sales would be 7 on Vinted, 4 on Poshmark, only 4 on eBay, 2 on Facebook Marketplace, 2 on Mercari. Hey there, Mercari, where you been? And 1 on Whatnot. Still no Depop. I'm going to give it a couple more weeks and I will create a new account. I still haven't heard back from support. But enough about Depop. Let's talk about platforms we actually sold on, like Poshmark. Let's start on Friday. We had 8 sales on Friday, starting off with this new in-box Dirt Devil. The 20-foot cord edition, folks. You can vacuum your car from your neighbor's house. This sold for $19 on Poshmark. I got it for $4 at a church sale here in my hometown. Got to be careful on Poshmark with packages over $5. They charge you $5 if your package ends up being more than 5 pounds, and then an additional $5 if it's more than 10. So be careful there. Next up, if you remember long ago, my wife and her friend went to an estate sale and sourced for me while I slept in. She got a bunch of these soaps, these Michael Design Works soaps, which turned out to be a pretty good brand. 3 of the soaps sold for over $20 each. This one, the Christmas ones were kind of the lowest tier. The fall were okay, and then just the basic scents. I think Hummingbird and Black Cherry were the real winners. But this one sold for $8 on Poshmark and is the last of, I think, the 7 soaps that she bought. Shout out, Nicole. Next up, look at this. This is an example of me not paying enough attention. I was at a garage sale with my son. I just had Lane at this one, and I was getting some good Harley shirts and some hats and a few other things, I believe, at a garage sale. And on my way out, I saw this, and it had $5 on it, so I just paid it and grabbed it on the way out. I should have looked inside, probably, but the player's in there. And the top of the antenna is broken off, the little frame plate for the display keeps falling off, and the battery backup door, the clasps are broken, so it doesn't stay in place very well. So it is falling apart. But it's tested working. Radio works fine and CD player works fine. No static. It was clear. So I was like, it works. It's just, cosmetically not there. In good shape. These do pretty well, and especially with the box and manual and stuff. But I think I had something like that as I was a kid. Mine was pink with flowers. It was a Lizzie McGuire boombox. That is a memory I haven't thought about in a very long time. We're going to move on to Whatnot. Hello, Whatnot. About 1 sale a week now on Whatnot, which is pretty good compared to the first few months where it was about one a month. So we have these. These are I actually almost threw away, and you know me, I don't like to throw things away. These, my wife cleaned out her closet, lots of stuff. These are Target brand, and I was like, I got to clean them and all that. And I said, I'm just going to do it. Just get it over with. And you know what? They sold for $12 over on Whatnot going to Enterprise, Alabama. So I'm glad I did it. Next up, we're going to head on over to Vinted, where there are no seller fees, but the items that are selling are likely your lowest dollar items you have for sale. So we're going to move on to Vinted here. We have first, shout out Rod Picking and Punching over there on Dibdit. He was running a clothing show, and I was getting a couple of cool wrestling shirts. A very cool Pac-Man Bullet Club crossover. Anyway, this nobody bid on, so I scooped it up for $2, saying, hey, it's new with tags. We'll see what that's worth. It's not worth much. It's sold for $5 on Vinted to go into Stonecrest, Georgia. Then some loose CDs. These are shout out family friend Jackie. I think it's 20 plus loose CDs. And you know how condition goes with loose CDs. You're going to have some scratching and scuffing and whatnot. They're all untested. Majority of which are Y2K era country. Few dollars over there on Vinted. Going to Flower Mound, Texas. What a lovely name for a town that is. Speaking of donations, this one is from family friend Lori, which is my buddy Sean's mother, so I'm sure that's Sean's. This is an Uncharted for a Thief's End PS4 game without the inlay or manual, just the disc and the case. In good condition, but not worth a bunch. A few dollars on Vinted going to Petersburg, West Virginia. Our final Friday sale. Listed for a long time. surprised this didn't sell in golf season. This is an Adidas and TaylorMade Myrtle Beach National hat. It has discoloration on the inside and a scuff on the back, so that probably didn't help. I got that on a live auction. Shout out Poker Dude. I got that for $1 on Dibbed It, and it sold for $5 on Vinted. So we're going to move on to our 5 sales of Saturday, starting off with a Fisher-Price Adventure Mom. This is from 1974. This is Adventure Safari line. This is the mom figure. A long time ago in January, I got a bin of just under 50 PVC figures and other figures from the 70s through 90s, and did very well on the bin. I think I have like only 3 or 4 left, and they're the low dollar ones. So a few dollars on eBay. Finally, there, eBay coming in on Saturday, going to Columbus, Georgia. Next one I can't show you, but I'll put it in the thumbnail. A very beautiful little ceramic. It's like 2.5, 3 inches tall. Cornucopia known as Horn of Plenty. Beautiful painted piece. I got that as a giveaway on Whatnot, and it sold for $7 cash money over on Facebook Marketplace. Thank you very much. Then we are jumping over to Poshmark. We're jumping all over the place here. For a pair of Carhartt Relaxed Fit. These are men's 34, 36. Tan canvas work pants, great condition. Got these for $1 at a garage sale, and they sold for $20 on Poshmark overnight. So I upped the price of my other ones. A little too fast of a sale. And then another donation from Jackie. This is Gilmore Girls season 5. Never watched it. Thought that was the Twilight Girl. Is it? I don't know. Gilmore Girls Complete Season 5 sold for $4 on Vinted. And then loose DVDs. I get donations of loose DVDs. I don't ever pick up loose DVDs. Meaning pre-owned, I should say. Not loose. Pre-owned DVDs. But I got this stack. Oh, these ones are ours. These ones were our DVDs, and I was listing other media, so I just threw them on there. $5 going to Vinted. If you want pre-owned DVDs from me, I charge by the dollar, but shipping included. So if like shipping's $5 for 10 DVDs, I'm going to list it for $5. I want them gone. Look at the space this is taking up. These aren't worth but maybe $1 or $2 a piece each if I would have sold them individually. Even sealed DVDs, I really don't want to even pay more than $0.25 for. Unless it's something special. Anyway, next we're going to go on to Sunday. We have 7 Sunday sales, starting off with this, oh, have mercy, Milwaukee. This is a hammer drill. I got this for $5 at a garage sale. Oh, it is tested working. One of the batteries does not work, and it has so much corrosion that I don't believe it's going to work. Manual. So, yeah, one of the 2 batteries does not work. The other one does. The charger does work. However, you can tell that they put the corroded battery on there, so it might need some cleaning. And they don't make batteries for these ones anymore. So this is sold for $35 on eBay, going to Cross Plains, Tennessee. Power tools. Always happy to get those out. I don't deal a ton in power tools just because of the space they take up. It's the only thing. Have mercy. Whew. I bought a bunch of CDs. So last year, around June-ish, I bought big old box. It was over 200 CDs from Rad Picker over there on Dibbed It. I paid $10 for the box plus shipping, and they ended up, I keep track of everything. The CDs ended up selling after fees, which is, of course, a big thing, for a total of $304.68. I think I paid $10 for the CDs, $16 for shipping, and I think he even told me that he ended up having to pay $30 in shipping, and I only paid him $26. Anyway, $304.68, and I only have 1 CD from that buy still listed. So we'll round it up a couple dollars for that last CD. Anyway, I bought another 200-ish CDs for $5 at a garage sale, and I have just now started listing, so we are going to see where that takes us, and it's already paid for in the first night of listing it. So quick and easy to list CDs. Anyway, we have Elemental. This sold for $3 on eBay, going to South Bend, Indiana. We have Fifth Dimension, Up, Up, and Away. This sold for $4 on eBay, going to Toulisburg, Massachusetts. So even after fees were taken care of. We did have one later, but next one is another one I can't show you, but again, it'll be in the thumbnail. A Facebook marketplace for a Y2K era Chicago Bears rolling backpack. It was in pretty good condition. One of these zippers had come off the tracks and my fingers were able to fix it. And it had a little bit of cracking, but otherwise it was cool because it had the CD pages to store your CDs in the front. I think it was like 2003, 2004 era. Backpack sold for $15 on Facebook Marketplace. I paid $1 for it. Then we finish off with 2 Mercari sales. Mercari has been absent for a while now. Not absent, but like a sale every 2 or 3 weeks. When I first created Mercari, I was doing quite well on there. Simple Simon, a sealed VHS, and this is taking the cake for the oldest listed item. This was listed 14 months ago. I paid 50 cents at a garage sale because it's sealed and it's a cartoon. It only sold for $4 on Mercari, going to Santa Rosa, California. Then you thought that last bundle of DVDs was nice. This one is from Shoutout Jackie, a stack of pre-owned DVDs. There are over 20 titles because there are a couple of loose ones up there as well. And these sold for $9. And I had them listed, I think, higher in other markets, but then the Mercari, I was seeing that this person's going to have to pay like $11 to ship that. And I'm like, wow. Whereas Mercari must not do media mail, which is the cheapest available shipping for media only. And that's why it was more. So I was like, oh, well, I'll cut you a deal there. It'll take $9. Then it equals out to $20 DVD total. Final sale. Vinted. Couple bucks for Diana Ross. All the Great Love Songs. That's another CD from my newest buyout. That wraps up the weekend. A good amount of sales and 20 sales, but not a lot of good sales. Carhartt pants, the Milwaukee drill, Dirt Devil maybe. What was my favorite sale? I don't know. None of them terribly excite me, to be quite honest with you, but it's nice getting some of these big things out of here, like, a vacuum and a boombox and a drill. That'll be nice. What was your favorite sale of the weekend? And I will see you tomorrow, and let's hope for some good Monday sales.